What's going on, guys? Adam here, and really excited to do another video here for my YouTube. Haven't done one of these in several months, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Probably made a whole host of excuses, but on the legitimate side, we actually moved recently, and work has been busy, and I had a couple tweak my shoulder. I can't remember if I mentioned that in one of my previous videos, but I tweaked my shoulder like last August, so almost a year ago, and it just sent me kind of in a more of a negative mindset. Shouldn't have been there. I'll probably document that journey of how I got out of that mindset, how I continued to train and was able to build myself back up to lifting heavy weights again, and get back up to like the 85-pound dumbbells for several reps on my incline presses. I'm back up to 70-pound dumbbells for my seated overhead presses. And so for me, those are huge wins. Those are really great numbers because I've dealt with shoulder pain in the past, and although I tweaked my shoulders, in August doing flat bench press, which I will probably never do again. I'm kind of committed to just never do that again. I'm finally feel like I'm back at a place where I want to be doing these again. I'm making amazing progress in the gym again. I've continued to gain weight. My last video, like I said, was about how I gained 15 pounds over the course of like a year and a half or something like that. Honestly, I don't even remember the timeline I gave, but I'm up nearly 20 pounds at this point. So I've continued to gain weight, and we recently got back from vacation, which is what I wanted to talk about in this video, about how I didn't track anything on vacation. I went into it just wanting to really just enjoy the time with my family. It wasn't about hitting personal records. It wasn't about making sure that my protein goals, my calorie goals were met while on vacation. It was more about, I just want to go and enjoy the beach, enjoy my family, my wife and my 3 kids and some other family members that we had with us. And so in this video, I want to talk about how I was able to enjoy it, still make progress, yes, but also stay lean and stay on track without actually tracking anything. I didn't track my lifts. I didn't track my calories or my protein or anything like that. I simply went, I enjoyed vacation, and it was awesome. And so really the first thing that really helped me to stay on track was my mindset going into it. Sorry, there's someone coming by right now, pretty loud. Sounds like they're on a freaking lawnmower or something. I might edit this out, I don't know. All right, sorry about that. I came inside so that it's a little bit quieter. Told my kids, be quiet. So like I was saying, my mindset going into vacation really was this. I just want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy my family, but I still want to, I don't want to undo my progress. So actually one of the biggest things that I did going into it, and like I mentioned in the last video I posted, and like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I've made so much progress in these last couple years just by being consistent, consistently staying in a calorie surplus, or either at maintenance or in a little bit of a surplus, so that I can continue to focus on putting on the size that I want to build, because I've never really committed to a long-term bulk or lean bulk before, like I have in these last couple years, and I've seen amazing results. My body has changed in positive ways. I feel good. I feel like I look better. My wife thinks I look better, so that's a plus, obviously. And so I've made a lot of progress in these last couple of years. And really what I didn't want to do was go on this vacation, or really in the couple months leading up to this vacation, was do some sort of cutting phase where I try to lose body fat just so that I look leaner on the beach. Even though I'm already relatively lean, I've gained nearly 20 pounds, and my waist size has really stayed between 33 and 34 inches. On a bad day, my waist is 34 inches, but really that's because I'm bloated, maybe from something I ate the night before. But consistently, my waist has stayed at just above 33 inches. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I really try to keep my waist at about 45% of my height, really in giving myself about an inch to work with above 33 inches. So never going above 34 inches during this bulk, which I haven't. So it's been the most successful bulk I've ever done. And I didn't want to undo that progress by doing some sort of cutting phase where I try to lose body fat just to look a little bit leaner for the beach. That would have been stupid, in my opinion, and it would have undid the progress that I was experiencing, which isn't to say that you can't build muscle while cutting, or at least maintain muscle while cutting. You absolutely can, but for me, I was experiencing so much progressive overload, strength gains in my workouts. I didn't want to undo that progress, which again, that's not to say that you can't make strength strength gains in a cutting phase, you absolutely can. I have, but for me, I really wanted to continue the momentum of this gaining phase and this building phase, this muscle building phase that I'm committed to. And so I knew I didn't want to do that. So going into this vacation, my mindset was I don't want to do that, but I want to enjoy. And so my overall mindset going into it was like the first thing that I really had to focus on was I'm there to enjoy my family, which means enjoying food, the time we're having together. But I also knew I wanted to, maintain the progress. And so the goal wasn't to like hit any PRs. The goal wasn't to just not do anything at all. And so my mindset really was, I'm going to enjoy this vacation. I'm not going to try to hit any personal records or any protein or calorie goals. I've said that now a few times. And so that was the first thing. The second thing is that I made sure to still work out, but I made my workouts very potent, very, intense. I focused, the gym that I went to while I was there, it was basically the resort gym, very minimal equipment. They had a chest press machine, which really was like an incline press / shoulder press. You could like adjust it to focus on one or the other. So I used that on my 2 upper body days. They had a lat pull down, a seated row machine. They had dumbbells that went up to 50 pounds, which, is okay. So, but I wasn't going to do like any heavy pressing with that. And so I focused on those dumbbells for like lateral raises, rear delts, curls, some tricep extensions. So I used the equipment that they had. I even used the treadmill for my lower body day to do some reverse treadmill for my quad and knee warm up for my lower body day. But I kept the workouts short and sweet and to the point. I hit the key muscle groups I wanted to hit. I was out in like 45 minutes. My Friday workout took a little bit longer than that. I don't really know why. I might have done one extra move that day and it was right around an hour, but I tried to keep them between 45 and 60 minutes. Just short and sweet, to the point. Could they have been shorter? Absolutely. But just the way that I wanted to train, I still wanted to keep them similar to what I've been doing here at home, but I knew I wanted to keep them just very intense and short, sweet, to the point. So like my Monday was my chest and arms focused day with a little bit of shoulders. Wednesday was my lower body day with a little bit of abs. And then Friday was another upper body day, shoulders and back focus with a little bit of shoulders and arms and shoulders, back and arms focused with a little bit of rear delts in there as well. So some light shoulders. So those are my 3 days, short, sweet, to the point, and I kept them intense, and I kept them right where I needed them to be to still stimulate some muscle growth, even though I was doing a little bit of different variations for the movements. But that was probably something else I did, was I kept the movement variations like very similar to what I was doing back home, but I had to get a little bit creative with some of the movements I was doing to make sure that I was still hitting the muscle group, but hitting it with enough volume and intensity to ensure a stimulation and an adaptation in terms of like overall or in terms of like muscle growth for that specific muscle. In terms of my nutrition, I did not track any calories, didn't track any protein, didn't track what I ate. But the trick here was that I just stayed mindful. So the first thing is that my overall mindset going into it, I wanted to enjoy it. Number 2, I kept my workouts short and sweet. And the third thing was that I stayed mindful without tracking. And so really what this meant was that I didn't just binge eat and gorge myself, but I still enjoyed everything that I ate, everything that I ordered. I was eating cookies and ice cream and these amazing like fish tacos and grouper and just all of these different things, right? Had some amazing carnitas tacos while I was down there. And, it was just so much good food. But really what it came down to was that I was mindful of what I was eating and how much I was eating, but I wasn't trying to be like, okay, maybe that was 1,000 calories. Okay, this was 500. Like I wasn't trying to add anything up. As tempting as it was to make sure I was hitting my protein, rather than trying to hit this perfect protein goal, I just stayed mindful. Like, okay, I still made sure I was eating protein-rich sources. Like we went to the store. I made sure to get some Greek yogurt, some strawberry Greek yogurt from Oikos or whatever, and made sure, I'm going to have one of those every single day. I'm going to make sure that each meal that I have, they had like these amazing chicken and cheese quesadillas, obviously cheese, but chicken quesadillas at the tiki bar that was down there at the resort. And I ate those like 3 or 4 days, you know, for like lunches. And I just enjoyed myself, and I stayed mindful of what I was eating without like having to put it in my fitness pal. Even though I was super tempted to do that, I just wanted to just enjoy the food that was in front of me, okay? Just wanted to enjoy having ice cream. I had milkshakes like, I don't know, 4 nights we were there. You know, I love milkshakes. So it's like, I'm not going to do that on a regular basis at home, like have a milkshake every night, because they're like, you know, maybe 7, 8, 900, maybe even like 1,000 calories, depending on what you get and how much and what size and where you go and all that. But like there, I didn't even care. It's like I had I think we went to 3 different ice cream shops or something like that, and I had like 4 milkshakes. I got the same milkshake at one place, you know, another milkshake from 2 different places or whatever. But really the point is I'm making, and by the way, we had donuts, I think twice while we were there. So it's like, that sounds like a lot of junk, a lot of sugar and all of that. And it really was. I don't typically eat like that. Yes, every single night I treat myself to some sort of like sugary, sweet treat, dessert, whatever. That's definitely a part of like my diet structure. It helps me stay on track for sure. But like down there, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to binge eat and eat till I'm miserable. Although I was like maybe borderline a couple times. Really, what I tried to do when it came to being mindful was I ate until I was full and satisfied. And that's really what it came down to. And even if I did eat a little bit too much here and there, which I probably did, even though, by the way, I can't believe I didn't mention this, I came home and I was only a pound heavier. So I was pretty happy about that. But rather than, you know, focusing on like, and feeling guilty that I like ate too much or anything like that, I had to have the mindset like I'm there to enjoy this trip and this vacation with my family. I'm just going to eat to my heart's delight until I'm satisfied, until I'm full. Yes, I probably overate, but guess what? Overeating a little bit for a vacation or for a day or for a weekend, it's not going to undo your progress. If you've been eating in like a calorie deficit and you binge eat on a weekend, like, okay, yeah, maybe you undid that week's progress, but guys, in the grand scheme of things, who freaking cares? Who freaking cares? That was part of my mindset. It's like, who cares? It's 1 week. I go on 1 vacation a year. You know, that's what my job allows me right now. I mean, I could take, you know, up to like 3 or 4 weeks or something. But like right now, as far as like a beach vacation, we go to the beach like once a year. We try to go to the beach once a year. Who freaking cares if I overate a little bit? It takes so many calories to gain, you know, 1 single pound of like pure body fat. Okay, so I've talked about this in other videos. It takes 3,500 calories to gain a single pound of body fat. But even if you eat 3,500 calories over your maintenance, not all of those in a single day or even in like a single, you know, few like a few days. Like not all of that is going to just be stored as body fat. Your body burns those calories for various purposes, for various reasons. They don't all just automatically get stored as fat, okay? So going overboard a little bit isn't that big of a deal. So what have I said in this video? Number 1, at least for me, and maybe you'll find this helpful, you have to have the mindset like you're going to vacation. If you want to track your protein and your workouts and this and that and the other, your calories, by all means do that. If you can still enjoy your family and use something like MyFitnessPal and track your workouts and all this without it getting in the way, by all means do it. Who cares? Who freaking cares? But have the mindset that you're there to enjoy the time at the beach, at the pool, with your family, and there to make memories. That's number 1. You're there to be with them. That's the number 1 goal. Okay, so that was the mindset. Number 2 is you can still find 2-3 hours for the whole week where you can work out, hit a couple lifts, even if it's body weight, right? I hadn't even seen the gym. I saw some random pictures. I hadn't even seen the gym. I didn't even know what I was there like going to be working with until I actually went to the gym that first day and saw what I was actually, you know, what equipment I had to work with, okay? I was prepared to do some body weight workouts. And so even if you have to do that, make them short, sweet, to the point, make them intense, stimulate the muscle, but you're there to enjoy the time with your family. You don't have to do these long, crazy, bodybuilding workouts while you're there to enjoy vacation. And then number 3, stay mindful. Just be mindful. You don't have to track. Just be mindful. Eat until you're satisfied. If you eat even a little bit more than that, who freaking cares? You are fine. It's going to be okay. Because guess what? I came back from vacation. My waist is the same size as it was the week before. Maybe it'll be a little bit bigger tomorrow. I don't know. But guess what? Who freaking cares? Because I know how to lose it. I know how to maintain it. And once you kind of have these principles in place and you understand how these things work, you can stay lean for life and enjoy it. Enjoy life and be fit for life. And so that's really all I wanted to say in this video. If you want any help to lose your first few pounds of fat, and you want to start this journey to get lean, to stay lean, to build muscle for life, to be fit, then I encourage you to go to my website, adamfarrellfitness.com/jumpstart. Put your email address in there, and I will actually send you a free program. It's my Lean for Life Jumpstart program at adamfarrellfitness.com/jumpstart. And this will teach you over these next few weeks to lose your first few pounds of fat while you also start to put on muscle in the right places to look good and to feel good and to function well in your everyday life. So if you want to get lean, stay lean, and build muscle for life, go to adamfarrellfitness.com/jumpstart and grab that free program. And let me know in the comments what you loved about this video. If you liked it, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. It does help to reach more and more guys who want to get lean, stay lean, and build muscle for life. So really excited to be back on YouTube, guys. I'm going to be posting more of these, okay? My goal is to at least do one of these a week and stay active, every single day on my Instagram and just show you kind of some behind the scenes of my training, my diet, and all of that. I really want to put out more content out there. I'm really passionate about this fitness stuff, and I want to help you get lean, stay lean, and build muscle. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one.